Hey y'all, it's your girl, 𝐂𝐮𝐫DaGawd, back with another video on today. And you know what? I just need to vent because I can't believe my eyes, child. I cannot believe what I just saw. First of all, who told me to go on Twitter and scroll? Who told me to do that? Because truly I played myself thinking that I can find some kind of amusement and entertainment in that place, because instead what I found was aggravation and filth. What is she talking? Sammy, what are you talking about? I'm gonna tell you what I'm talking about. I'm on the timeline and I see a tweet, okay, detailing a situation that apparently took place where there's this black girl on her regular shenanigans going back and forth with someone on the timeline and referring to the black man as bullet bags, okay? And then a Latina, a young lady, called her out for just the ridiculousness of a statement such as that. And then it went on to show like that same black woman talking about, oh, she can't wait to bounce on some white eggplants and all that kind of nonsense, child. And it's like, of course you would have that kind of mentality talking like this, but really I don't care about that. Really what I care about is the fact that this isn't the first time I've seen or heard a black woman refer to our men as bullet bags. And I'm like so sick and tired of it that I just needed to speak. I just needed to speak on it because I cannot believe where we have arrived. This is where we are. This is where we are. There is so much disdain and poison within the hearts of so many black women. And I'm speaking to women directly just because of this particular situation. Obviously, there are men who carry that kind of energy as well, but I don't have the time to talk about that on today because right now I'm talking to cisgen to cisgen. Yes, I'm talking to you, Miss Ma'am, because why are you like this? Why are you comfortable having so much hate for 50% of yourself? Do you not realize that the only reason you exist is because of a black man? Like, what is wrong with you? Oh, but Sammy, I'm biracial. My daddy's white, my daddy's Spanish. So I ain't got no. Because even if you go beyond that, your mama's black, right? So how did she get here? Oh, my mama's white too. Okay, so regardless of what sequence of events you want to follow, I don't give a damn about it because at the end of the day, it's self-hate. There's no other, you can't do any hula hoops, backflips, cartwheels around the fact. It is self-hate when you speak this way about a part of you. Have you forgotten where we came from? Have you forgotten our story? Do you even know it? It's like mind-boggling to me. It's mind-boggling to me to hear our women speak this way about our men. Is like, are you insane, Miss Girl? Have you lost your rabbit mind? You know what? You have. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Because you've experienced some kind of pain, some kind of trauma, abandonment, possibly. Whatever disappointment you have experienced in your life at the hands of 1, 2, or 3 specific black men, that you allow that to paint your entire perspective of them as a whole. Now you go out into the world spewing venom. Now you go out into the world and treat all of them as though they are the ones who wronged you. And then I saw people in the comments they weren't even addressing the whole bullet bag statement. You know what they were mad about? Oh my God, non-black people need to know when to shut up. They have no right. They have no right to speak about our issues. How dare she call her out like that? The black woman, she is so unprotected. All of that I saw in the comments and I really could not believe it. And then went on to say, see, this is what we're talking about, because the black men, of course, are like pointing out the fact that, wow, she really had to come and call you out because no one else was going to do it type of thing. And they're talking about how the black men, once again, don't protect the black woman because you jumping on the Latina side. I'm like, I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. And it's not even that I can't. It's that I don't want to accept that this is where we are. It's so hard for me to see it because I'm like, what do we do? It's like, what do we do about this, y'all? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Let us brainstorm because sometimes I really draw a blank and it is depressing as hell to see us in this way. But at the same time, it's like you have to see it. You have to acknowledge what is going on. We cannot ignore the fact that this is how we are moving. It is so incredibly damaging to our current experience clearly, but like generations and generations to come. The fact that we've already had all of this horror happen to us in our entire lifetime, for the most part, if you're just starting with the whole slavery thing, then that's your reference of the timeline. But prior to that, whole nother situation for us. And I really want us to get back to that space. I really want us to get back to the space where we recognize ourselves as royalty or as powerful or as innovators, caring about our image, caring about our worth and our value because we know it. That's what the problem is. Too many people are so separated from the depths and the truth of what we really are that it creates space for this kind of foolishness to take place among us. And we need to shut that shit down. It's not okay. It's not okay. You're bugging. I don't care if you want to get mad. Like, oh my God, Sammy. Girl, let me hate the black man in peace. No, I won't. I won't. I won't. Because you're wilding. You're wilding right now. You are wilding right now. And then have the nerve to fret, to complain, to shed the tears when other people don't respect us. And it's like, why would they? Why would they respect you when you don't even respect yourself? You don't respect your community. You don't respect your counterpart. Matter of fact, you hate your counterpart and therefore you hate yourself. I don't care if you don't want to accept that to be the case. Like, girl, it don't mean that I hate myself just because I hate the black man. Yes, it does, actually. Wow, it's crazy to me. Like, we really have forgotten who we are. And I need us to stand the fuck up and remember because now it's getting real tired. It's old news to be moving like this still. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me to think because people like to reference the civil rights era of blackness, right? Considering all the trauma that we were going through at that time, but then somehow we're the most together as a family unit. We had each other's backs. And it's crazy that in the face of adversity and strife, we had to be super, super, super together, right? And then we've fast forwarded to this part of the timeline where we're not facing that version of harassment, though we are still facing it, child. But we're not facing that version, and therefore now we don't need each other. What is it? What is it about? What is it? Oh, because we're strong black women who don't need no man. So that what it is? Is that what you thought? Because if you really sit down and speak to the black woman and you ask her, ma'am, do you, like, if you had the choice to work for the rest of your life and provide for all of your needs entirely and have no one else to lean on versus having a man present to help lighten that load for you, which one would you choose? A lot of us would choose this one, okay? Most of us, if we're being honest with ourselves, we don't want to be the ones going out there and having to grind and go get it. Because when you recognize that you are a feminine presence on this earth, you also would recognize that that is counterintuitive to our development as goddesses, really. Y'all want to call yourself goddess, empress, queen, but how could you be that How could you be that if you are so repulsed by the idea of collaborating, cooperating, respecting, revering the Black man? Make it make sense to me, baby girl, because it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. She had the fucking nerve and the gall to refer to our men as body bags. And that's the type that makes me want to fight. And I'm not a fighter. I do not fight. You see me? I don't fight. That is not my MO. That has never been my energy. And it's crazy that I see stuff like this and it brings that out of me. It makes me want to get violent because I cannot believe my eyes and my ears. You're mad. She's gone mental, bruv. That's me trying to be British real quick because the struggle of that sentence just now is crazy. It's like so layered, and I don't want to be sitting here for 3 hours just unpacking everything. Truly, as I said, I came here to vent because it's just so disheartening to see it. Like, whoa. I hear men, Black men specifically, speak about, why would I protect the Black woman when she doesn't protect me? And you know, it's crazy to hear that. It's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? It should be your duty and your honor. That's the energy we carry around that conversation. But truly, when you look at it, just look at us. I would ask the same question too. Why would I protect you when you have no respect for me at all? None. Why would I do that? Why would I put my neck on the line for someone who would degrade me in that way? Who would joke about my life being snatched from me? Like, why would I want any parts of you? We get mad, you see them dating interracially, and I have my own set of thoughts about that too, child. I'm not about to get into it because it's a lot. But at the same time, when you really diagnose the problem, it's like you can understand what would drive that thought process to think, maybe if I just date outside of my race, I can just avoid all of this stress and this headache, because I can't. My mental health can't handle it. And I would imagine that as a Black person, seeing other Black people speak about you in that way hurts so much that you just want to remove yourself from that as quickly as possible. You don't want any parts. You don't want any parts of it. And that also, okay, because now my thoughts are everywhere, because now I just thought, a lot of these kind of women are raising Black boys. So then that's a whole nother thing. What do you think you're doing to your sons when you carry that energy? Oh, but I don't say that to them. I don't say it to them. You don't have to fucking say it to them, you dummy. And it's crazy. Like, I don't want to speak to us like this. It's crazy. Like, but sometimes y'all just work my nerves. So I apologize for calling those people dumb. I'm sorry. That was I was getting angry and that was uncalled for. But truthfully, it really pisses me off, because it's like, you don't have to openly say it outside of your mouth, I hate Black men, to your son, for him to register how you truly feel, because children are the most intuitive and connected. They literally just came out a portal, child. Like, they know what time it is. Maybe they don't have the vocabulary to diagnose it, but they feel very, very thoroughly what's up. So when you are at odds with your Black male counterpart, aka his daddy, right? Or you just have a general worldview of Black men as being trash or whatever you call them, he feels that. And You know, sometimes people think that they're so slick, that you're just so good at disguising your true feelings that no one else can peep game, but the energy you emit is what it is. So even if you're trying to pretend and be nice and put on this costume of Pleasantville, we still know what type of time you really are on. We still know it. So the children especially know it because as I said, they are the most connected among us. They just are. So we see all these black boys coming out of single mother households. And I came across this conversation recently where someone was saying that according to statistics, now I haven't done my own research on this, so take this with a grain of salt, but it's worth investigating. According to some study, they discovered that majority of convicted rapists came from single mother households. That's interesting. Because we like to play with the idea that we don't need no man, we don't need them, we just need them for the sperm child. That's all we need them for. But it's like, if that's the case, why are our black boys having these kind of outcomes? Not all, obviously not all, but too many. Way too many. It's crazy, man. It's so sad. It's so fucking sad. Like, we have got to do better. And I know there are some black men out here who have done some heinous things. Heinous things. A lot of the time, they are the root of the deep trauma with so many black women and girls. And it's like, I understand. Believe me, I do. I've been traumatized by a black man as well. But guess what? He does not paint my view of every black man. He simply, him by himself cannot paint the entire picture. It was him. It wasn't every one of them. Just as, you know how you'll hear men say, oh, women are this and women are that. And then you as the woman, you're like, not all of us are like that. Right? 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 You can understand that concept when it's applied to you, but in the reverse, you can't see it. Maybe he was trash. Maybe he was filthy, but all of them aren't him. So you need to let go. And it's hard. It's easier to say that than it is to apply it, especially if that man was like a father figure to you or was supposed to be or was supposed to protect you in some way and just didn't. And in some cases, use his power and his access to you to abuse you. Trust and believe, I recognize that is a major issue as well. And fortunately, I will acknowledge that there are black men who are holding fire to their feet. There are men out here who are doing that, holding them accountable. And I am so grateful for those men. So I'm not going to sit here and act as if that conversation isn't happening, because it is. Open your eyes and see that it is. But bringing it back to the woman, because that's who I'm speaking to. You have to embrace the healing journey. You must. Because when you do not, you become murky with venomous hatred. When you do not do the healing work, you start to show up as this just villainous personality type. And I know that we've come into this space where being the villain is cool and all the things like, oh my God, we got a villain story, girl. And okay, whatever. But in actuality and in practice, it's not cute to be a villain out here. It's just not. And it's also so incredibly destructive because you become a villain to us. It's not even like you villainizing the rest of the world. You become a friggin' terrorist to us, our communities where you do it. So keep that evil laugh energy to yourself and unpack it in your therapy sessions. Do that. Because we are too powerful. We are too powerful to be out here operating in the absolute lowest version of ourselves. We're, you know how people say, I'm never gonna settle? I don't wanna settle. I'ma never settle. But you're settling for the lowest version of yourself when you decide to hold on to all of this resentment and hurt and pain and ingest it as a part of your personality now, as opposed to transmuting it and making it healing energy. Because as the Black woman, we are the healers. And how are you gonna heal if you haven't even taken the time to heal yourself and your own family and your own wounds? You don't want to do that, but you want to be revered as this high level being on this earth? How is that gonna happen, girl? How is that gonna happen? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And truly, I don't want to stay on this topic for too long because it pisses me off so badly, but I really hope that in me speaking on this topic, it opens the space for others to do the same, because we need to start calling a spade, okay? And really what I'm seeing is a lot of hurt ass people perpetuating more hurt and violence to each other. And just a whole let's play the blame game. I hate you. Oh, no. I love you more. Let's play the blame game for sure. Let's call out names. Names. I hate you more. Let's call out names. See, and people love to call Ye crazy. They love to call him crazy. And, you know, whatever your opinion of him, that's your business. But at the end of the day, that man has always called a spade, and people are resistant to it. Why do we do this to each other? Why? Why are you okay with that? It should bother you. It should deeply bother you that after all that we've been through as a collective, we still can't find common ground, and you're okay with it. I can't relate. I can't relate. I just can't. I can't. And I think maybe it's because I'm so, I'm like a teacher at heart, you know, like me and the children, and that is just me and the vibes. Miss Sammy, yes, it is I. And it's because I care so much about what happens to kids, you know? So it's hard for me to see all this foolishness and strife among us, because I know who that affects directly, whether you say it in front of them or not. It shapes their worldview and who they become, how they feel about themselves, their level of confidence and trust, or their levels of motivation to be the best that they can be. It really hampers their ability to tap into that side when they're burdened by the traumas and the just nastiness that takes place between the Black man and the Black woman. It affects the children directly. And then you see it when you just look around you and watch the children and see how they move, how they speak, how they act, how they carry themselves. And then I dare you to separate yourself as a Black person from that experience. I dare you to do it. Oh, well, that's their parents, so that's their business. Okay, so F the whole it takes a village to raise a child concept, right? We've completely disregarded that aspect of our tribal foundation because we have decided to separate ourselves from each other. And that's okay, right? That's what you're telling me? It's cool. We gotta do better, y'all. Honestly and truly. We must. We must. And side note, stop looking to the non-melanated to be your voice, to be your advocates out here. And circling back to that tweet and how everyone was mad, oh my God, non-Black people don't need to be speaking about it. You invited them to the conversation, baby. You did that. So be mad at yourself if you're gonna be mad. because they wouldn't have the gumption to speak to us about these things if we didn't present it on a friggin' silver platter, child. Like, what? You're giving them the material. You're like, here, talk. Here is material. Here's the ammunition, actually. That's what you do. That's what you do. And maybe, I don't know, I'm sitting here and I'm wondering to myself, am I doing the same thing by openly discussing these issues? Maybe. But honestly, I think we should be embarrassed that a non-Black person has to be the one to say it, because we don't want to say it to each other. That's a problem. That's alongside all of the crazy things that happen on the low within Black families that we just sweep under the rug and we act like it's okay. Don't speak about it. Shh. Don't talk about it. Keep it. Shh. That's like the same kind of energy, because we are actively witnessing destruction of our community and we're just turning a blind eye to it because we don't feel comfortable calling it out. And we're supposed to protect the Black woman, and therefore that looks like not addressing her at all when she's fucking up. Don't ever address a Black woman when she's wilding out here, because if you speak to her or if you check her in any way at all, you hate Black women now. You're not protecting us. And it's like, protect you from what? If you constantly popping shit. If you are you're seeking the fight and then you asking for protection. I don't understand that. I don't get it. You know how you see some women, Black, white, yellow, gray, any color of the woman, where they are out with a man, right? And they get into it with another man somehow. Like, the woman is yapping at another man, and now yap, and now the dude that they're with has to come to their honor and defend them and get into a fight on their behalf because they couldn't keep their mouth shut long enough, or they didn't know how to direct the energy of that conversation so that it doesn't escalate to a violent one. They actually stirred the pot and instigated and put their man in a situation. Let's think about all the men who have lost their lives behind a woman putting them in a situation. Instigating a fight and then backing up and saying, protect me. You hate to see it. And don't get me wrong, Black woman, I love us because we are the divine. We are the divine. So it's time for us to start acting like it, really and truly. It's time to get our shit together. Come correct. Move in your magic and stop just trying to pick and choose when you're going to be magical. Be it. Embrace it. Be a healer by healing yourself. Therefore, you can be a healing presence in the world. Wherever you go, good vibes should follow. You shouldn't be an agent of destruction at all. You should be an agent of resolution, upliftment, education, nurturing. All of that is what we are, not that other stuff. And maybe, you know what, matter of fact, let me not say that, because we're that other stuff too. Because like I said, 50% namaste, 50% fuck out of here. So we can be the light and the dark. It is what it is. But choosing to be like the darker aspects of yourself as the predominant personality isn't it. That isn't it. That's not cute. That's not cool. That's not swag. That's not P. Okay? Do better. Be better. And obviously, everything I say to you is a message for me as well. And there are aspects of my life where I can definitely be doing better than I am. And I am clearly very aware of those things. And I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm always perfect with the things just because I decide to speak on it. Right? And there are times I have to check myself too and be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Is this what's really happening, or is this how you feel about it? You know? Sometimes you got to audit yourself and be like, what is real and what is a projection of your pain? But yeah, that's all I had to say to y'all about it. Like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But yes, leave your thoughts and your comments below. And I really want to see what y'all got to say, because I know I'm not the only one who feels a way about this. I know it. I know I am not. So share your thoughts, hit that like button, subscribe, join my channel, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.